In this video, let's see how to integrate a Shadow EMEA roller blind powered by Crestron QMT technology seamlessly with Crestron Home. First, we'll review the wiring of the full Crestron hardware and then program a Crestron keypad with very simple programming to operate this blind using the Crestron Home Setup App. So, without any further ado, let's do it! Today, in my demo setup, I have my wall-mounted Crestron QMT5 roller blind with decor brackets in my office window. And if you want to know how I measured and installed it, check out my previous video through the link in the comment section below. That blind is wired back to my Crestron motor power supply to one of its connectors here. From there, my blind will receive power and it will also communicate back and forth with my Crestron Home system. This 10-way power supply is so small that in addition of being wall-mounted, it can also fit nicely inside the DIN rail enclosure alongside other Crestron equipment, hence reducing footprint and clutter in our installations. That is very cool. Receiving main power from this cable here, it is also a Crestnet hub. Therefore, I will also connect my Crestron Cameo keypad to it. Another great thing about this 10-way power supply is that although it can be part of the Crestnet network using those Crestnet connectors here, I can also link it using this Ethernet port for faster communication, which is fantastic. And I'm going to wire it back to this Crestron switch here using a simple patch cable. Good. This is actually a PO switch, and I'd use it to power and communicate with my Crestron MC4R processor here that runs Crestron Home. That PoE switch will then be connected to my wireless router here, and this will allow me to program my system using the Crestron Home Setup App wirelessly for my iPad. Okay, to make it clearer, what we can say is that all the Crestron backroom equipment is simply wired back to the network using regular Cat6 Ethernet cables, here in orange. And that my Crestron keypad and Crestron blind are wired back to the Crestron motor power supply hub using Crestnet cables, here in blue. The first important point to notice here from a Crestron dealer point of view is that in this installation, there is no third-party integration hardware. Everything is under the Crestron ecosystem. So simple. And the wireless router here will allow me to program the system using my iPad with the Crestron Home Setup App, which is what we're going to do next. But before we go any further, if you're a Crestron dealer based in the EMEA region and you want to grow your business with Crestron shading solutions, this is the perfect time to get registered on the Shadow EMEA dealer portal. So go to ShadowEMEA.com and create your dealer account. This is the place to start. From the portal, you'll be able to specify, quote, and purchase your Crestron QMT roller blinds, curtain tracks, and Roman blind systems in real time in your own currency, with delivery time up to 15 working days. You'll also find useful documentation, technical drawings, product information, and a growing library of video tutorials to help you measure, specify, install, and build your knowledge around integrated Crestron shading solutions. And if you'd like to go further, we also run regular in-person training sessions. So head to the Crestron CTI website and register for the approved Crestron Shading Technician course held once a month in Weybridge in the UK, as well as in selected locations across EMEA. For local training opportunities, please contact your Crestron RSM. Right, now let's go back to our tutorial. Here is my Crestron Home Setup App, and I've already set my iPad so I can communicate with my Crestron Home processor wirelessly. So let's start with step 1 here, which is about creating the rooms in my system. Here, I'll select Office, where I'll later assign my front room equipment such as my blind and keypad. Next, let's move on to the next icon here called Pair Device. The first thing I have to do here is to click on Manage Gateway, where my system will scan to find any gateway on my network. And naturally here, it will find my 10-way motor power supply. Great! Clicking on the location icon here will make the LED on the device to flash, which is very helpful in case you need to identify it when you have multiple power hubs. Turn the location off, then I click on the plus icon here to give it a unique name. Here, I'll type 10-way power supply, since I only have one on my system, and I click OK. It's now been added to the system, and I can see it in this column here. Now, after a short while, or if I exit the page and then go back to Manage Gateway, I can see that my power supply has acquired 2 devices. And I suppose these are my blind and my keypad that are wired to it. I can also select it and click on the gear icon here, and under Devices, I can see the product code for my keypad here and for my blind there. Very good. I close this window and then go back by clicking here. And now, under Crestron Wired and Wi-Fi device types, I can see my power supply, and when I click on it, I can see my keypad and blind ready to be assigned to my office room. To do so, I select my office room here, then click on my keypad. Select the first item here, which is the front of my keypad, the button part. And again, if I click on the location button here, it will make all the LEDs on my keypad to flash to identify it. Then click on the plus icon. Here, I give it a unique name, like blind keypad for example, and press OK to assign it to the office, as you can see here. The 2 other items here are the contact closure inputs that are at the back of my keypad, but I won't use them in this demo. So I go back and then do the same thing for my blind. Select my blind here, and when I press on the location button, look, I can see the LED on my blind flashing. The blind will also go down to a lower position and start wiggling up and down to show us it is the one we're talking to. Very useful again in an application where you have multiple motorized window treatments. And when I turn off the location, blind is going back to its upper limit. Cool. Next, I click on the plus icon, give it a unique name like blind, since this is the only one I have, and click OK to assign it to my office. Very easy. Now, let's go directly to Shed Scenes here to simply see that for any given room that has motorized blinds or curtains in it, 2 scenes for all open and all closed have already been set by default. Those scenes can be called by any control device or programming in Crestron Home. And of course, we can add and set additional scenes or presets here. In this video, we just want to program basic blind operation. So I go directly to this icon here called Actions and Events and look for my keypad. Select Office here and scroll down this list of items. And there it is. When I click on it, that picture doesn't really match the one I have. So I click on the Layout tab here for Crestron Home to learn my keypad button layout. Next, I click on Learn Layout and click Yes to continue. And at that point, my keypad is flashing. Following the instructions, I'll tap all the buttons on my keypad one by one. And click OK when I'm done. That looks better now. Now, to program a button, I select the Action tab here. Then, select a button on the picture, like the top right one here. A new screen appears, and under Mode, I can see a list of presets to choose from. Okay. Here, we only want to do some basic programming the kind that most of us need to do on most of our projects. So for this button, I will select the mode called Shade Load. Select my office blind here. Then set the behavior to Open Raise. Good. And I'll keep the press and hold functionality here, and you'll see why in a minute. Next, I select the button here. Also select Shade Load, select my office blind, set the behavior to Close Lower, and keep the press and hold functionality again. Okay. So now, without doing anything, I can go to my keypad to test my programming. So, to close my blind, I press the button here. My blind is closing, and at any time, I can press again on the same button to stop it. Good. If needed, I can also press and hold that same button to lower it to my desired level. That's good. And then tap the button again to completely close it. Same thing to open the blind. Tap the top button here. I can also tap it again to stop it. Press and hold to adjust it to a desired level if needed. And tap it again for the blind to go to its open position. That's great. Voila. There you have it, how to seamlessly integrate a Shadow EMEA roller blind powered by Crestron QMT technology with Crestron Home. No need for third-party hardware interface and no need for additional software drivers. They're all part of the same Crestron ecosystem. I hope you find this video useful. If so, please leave a like and a comment in the section below. Thank you again and see you on the next one.